Hey everyone, Berkay here. Welcome back to the channel, your home base for exploring the biggest questions about our universe, our past, and ourselves, often with a little help from our friend AI. Now let me ask you something. What do you think connects the mysteries of the cosmos, the rise of civilizations, and Minecraft? Sounds a bit wild, right? But what if I told you that scientists recently used this incredibly popular game, not just for fun, but to unlock a fundamental secret about how we think, learn, and succeed in complex situations? Stick around, because today we're diving into how a virtual, blocky world revealed a surprising truth about the power of human adaptability. We humans are learning machines. It's kind of our superpower, right? We don't just learn from our own trial and error, figuring things out solo. We learn from each other, watching, imitating, sharing knowledge across generations. That's social learning, and it's the engine behind basically everything impressive we've ever done. Building skyscrapers, landing on Mars, developing life-saving vaccines. It all relies on building upon what others have learned. But here's the tricky part for scientists. Studying how we combine our own instincts with these social cues in the real, messy world, that's tough. Most lab studies use super simple, abstract tasks. They don't quite capture the dynamic, information-rich environments we navigate every single day. So a brilliant international team of researchers thought outside the box. Or maybe inside the block? They turned to Minecraft. Why Minecraft? Because it's complex, interactive, and visually immersive, much closer to a real-world challenge. They designed a virtual foraging experiment. Picture this. You're controlling your avatar. Your goal is simple: break blocks, find hidden resources. Easy enough. But here's the twist. Sometimes you're alone. Other times, you're in a world with 3 other real players. And whenever someone finds a resource, bam! A blue splash appears, a visual cue visible to everyone nearby. It's social information, right there in the game. Now, imagine you're playing. You see that blue splash over the hill where another player just found something. What do? Do you trust your gut? Keep exploring your own little area? Or do you think, hey, maybe they found a whole cluster of resources and go investigate? That's the core dilemma they wanted to study. To make it even more interesting, they threw in another variable: the environment. Sometimes resources were patchy, clustered together. Finding one meant others were likely nearby. In these situations, that blue splash? Super valuable information. Following someone could lead you to a gold mine, figuratively speaking. But other times, the resources were randomly scattered. One find didn't predict another. In that scenario, following someone else? Probably a waste of your time. You'd be better off exploring on your own. So the game constantly forced players to weigh. Do I trust my own exploration, what scientists call asocial learning, or do I leverage the social cues from others, social learning? And how did they track this? This is where it gets really cool, especially for the tech and AI side of things we explore here. They didn't just watch what players did. They tracked where they looked 20 times a second. Using some seriously advanced computational methods, they could basically see the world through the player's eyes, understanding what grabbed their attention. Other players, those blue splashes, the environment itself. They built a model that connected where people looked, how they moved, and the choices they made. It could actually predict which block a player would try next, based on this blend of individual instinct and social observation. Pretty incredible tech, right? Being able to quantify curiosity and strategy like that? Hey, speaking of exploring fascinating stuff like this, if you're enjoying this dive into how games can teach us about ourselves and you love exploring science, tech, and mysteries with me, do me a quick favor and hit that like button down below. It genuinely helps more people discover these ideas. And if you want to make sure you catch all our future explorations at the intersection of human curiosity and AI, hit subscribe and the notification bell too. We've got so much more to uncover together. All right, massive thank you for the support. So with this powerful way of tracking exactly how players balance their own searching versus watching others, what was the secret sauce? What separated the high scorers from the rest? Was it being a lone wolf? Was it being a copycat? Neither. The single biggest predictor of success was adaptability. The players who performed best weren't rigidly stuck to one strategy. They were flexible. They dynamically switched between exploring on their own and paying attention to others, depending on the situation, especially on whether the environment seemed patchy or random. Think about that. It wasn't about having the best individual strategy or the best social strategy. It was about having the intelligence to know when to use which one. Human intelligence, this study suggests, thrives on flexibility, especially when things are uncertain. This is way bigger than just Minecraft, obviously. It bridges a huge gap in understanding how we actually learn. We're not just passive imitators, and we're not just stubborn individualists. We're dynamic, adaptive learners, constantly calculating the value of information, whether it comes from our own senses or from observing others. Understanding this adaptability has huge implications. How does information really spread in groups, online or offline? How do new ideas and innovations emerge and catch on? This research gives us clues. It even hints at how we could design better learning environments, maybe even smarter AI that fosters this kind of adaptive learning. And maybe it goes even deeper than just strategy or success in a game. This adaptability, this willingness to change our approach based on what the world throws at us, isn't that core to navigating life itself? Think about the challenges we all face: personal setbacks, changing circumstances, unexpected obstacles. This flexibility, this capacity to learn from both our inner voice and the world around us, it's not just about being smart. It might be fundamental to our resilience, our ability to overcome, to grow, and ultimately to thrive as individuals and as a species. This virtual world experiment might just be holding up a mirror to one of our most essential human qualities. So the next time you're playing a game, working on a team project, or even just navigating a crowded place, think about this adaptability. Are you exploring on your own, or are you tuning into what others are doing? How do you decide? It's fascinating stuff, right? This intersection of human psychology, technology, and game design revealing fundamental truths. Exactly the kind of thing we love exploring here. What do you think? Have you noticed this kind of adaptive learning, this flexibility, playing a role in your own life, maybe in games or when facing challenges? Let me know down in the comments. I'm really curious to hear your experiences. If you found this deep dive fascinating, hitting that like button one more time would be amazing. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time so you don't miss our next journey. Thanks so much for watching, for being curious, and for being part of this community. I'm Berkay, and I'll catch you in the next video. Let's keep exploring.